Hey guys, Cal here today with the all-new redesigned 2025 Buick Enclave ST, and today I'm going to take you around the ST and show you what is different on the ST model as compared to the preferred, the base model Enclave. So this is right in the middle as far as the Buick Enclave hierarchy is concerned. So I'm going to show you what's different on this model compared to the base model, and I'm also going to tell you right now, you're going to be a little disappointed because under the hood of this $51,000 luxury family hauler is not the V6 that you remember. It is now a 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, so we're going to go over the performance numbers for that as well. All right guys, before we get started, we'll take a look at the window sticker on this 2025 Buick Enclave Sport Touring. You'll see that the color is Moonstone Gray Metallic. That is a $495 option, but I do think it is worth it because it does have a nice metal flake in the sun when you look at it, so I really do like this color. And under the hood is the 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that we were talking about earlier. It's hooked up to an 8-speed automatic transmission. You have that Bose speaker system coming standard. You have the heated steering wheel, heated seats, even some wireless charging coming standard on this ST model. A lot of standard safety features on the new ST, as well as some 20-inch alloy wheels that are coming standard on this ST model. Love these brand new rims. Very, very handsome looking on the new ST here. This one comes to a grand total of $51,290. And besides the all-wheel drive and the Moonstone Gray Metallic, those are the only two options listed. So this is kind of a bare bones ST, but it's sort of hard to call an ST bare bones because, like I said, it's coming with so many things standard. But this is missing a few features. It is missing the $650 trailering package. So keep that in mind. This one does not have that option. You are also missing the $1,700 power package, which gives you some memory seating up front. So when you open the door, you'll usually see a couple buttons here for the memory seats. This one doesn't have that, and that power package also gives you some power folding rear seats. So since this one does not have that $1,700 power package, when you look in the trunk here, you'll see that in order to put the seats down, you have to pull these ropes in the back here. And this one is also missing the $3,200 Super Cruise package. So when we go up front and look at the steering wheel, you'll see that the steering wheel does not have a bar at the top. It's just a normal leather steering wheel because it does not have the Super Cruise package. So it is missing that, and then it is also missing the $1,500 sunroof option. So I would have liked to see that on this. I bet it's very, very nice looking because the sunroof in the new Acadia Denali was stunning. So I'm assuming it would be beautiful here as well. Those are all the options that I know this one is missing for sure, according to the website. So if any of those would interest you, do think about optioning that on your 2025 Buick Enclave. But this is pretty much what a bare bones ST is looking like with almost no options. Taking a look under the hood of the new 2025 Buick Enclave is the new 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that is under the hood of every Chevy Traverse, every GMC Acadia, every Buick Enclave now. This is shared across all platforms, and like I said earlier, they are no longer offering that 3.6 liter V6 in the Traverse, Acadia, or Enclave. So that V6 is no longer available with that 9-speed transmission. Now you have the 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that is putting out 328 horsepower and 326 pound-foot of torque. So those are pretty good figures, and they are a little bit higher than the V6's figures were. So I've driven this new 4-cylinder engine multiple times, and for some reason it is not quite as exciting as the V6 was, even though the performance numbers are higher. And while we're under the hood, we'll talk about fuel economy on this new 4-cylinder Enclave. We are looking at 19 miles to the gallon in the city, 24 miles to the gallon on the highway, and 21 miles to the gallon combined, which is not much better than last year's Enclave. That was a 2024 Enclave with the V6 and the 9-speed transmission. That one was getting 17 miles to the gallon in the city, 25 miles to the gallon on the highway, and 20 miles to the gallon combined. So as far as combined MPGs go, it was only 1 mile per gallon below the 4-cylinder here. So you're a little disappointed that not only do you have to listen to a 4-cylinder under the hood, but you also do not have substantially better fuel economy. It's just 1 mile per gallon better on that combined MPG. All right guys, now we are talking about what is different on the ST model as compared to the preferred trim model, the base model Enclave. Starting on the front end, you'll see that the grille here on the preferred, on the base model, It's just like horizontal slats that are like chrome or aluminum. On this ST model, you'll see that it's this really high-end looking gloss black mesh that just goes back and forth like that, and it looks so high-end. You have that ST badging in the lower grille here, and you'll notice on the front end of the new Enclave, you don't have a grill bar running from the daytime running lights into the center of the grill anymore. That grill bar is gone. They've gone away with it to give it a fresher, cleaner look, and the Buick emblem is no longer in the grill. It has now been moved up to the hood. I love this new updated Buick symbol, and you'll see that down below, this intercooler grill and bottom of the bumper is also gloss black too. So on the preferred model, this little piece of trim right here is going to be like chrome or polished aluminum, whereas everything else that you see, these fins and this bottom of the bumper, is going to be a flat black plastic, whereas on this ST, you have that nice beautiful gloss black paint all across. And then these little fins that run out of the grille, they are also painted in gloss black, whereas on the preferred, the base model, these are also going to be polished aluminum or chrome looking. The headlights, the projector headlights down below right there, and then you have those daytime running lights right there. Love that curvature on them. What a fresh looking family hauler. Love this new Enclave, so pretty. Moving to the side, you'll see that gloss black paint come out of the front bumper and keep moving around to the fender flares, as well as the lower valances down here, and then it continues all the way to the back wheel well as well. So you have that gloss black paint on the entire bottom of the vehicle. You have the ST badging on the side of the door here, and then the wheels here on the preferred, the base model, they are 20-inch wheels. These are also 20-inch wheels, so they're not any bigger than the preferred's rims, but they do look a little better. I think the preferred rims look a little boring. These are actually really fun to look at because they have this cool swirl design. You have that machine finish on the outside, and then on the inside of those pockets is a nice gloss black finish. So very pretty wheels on the ST model. If you get a preferred, a base model, you will see that your side mirrors are going to be body color. On the ST, they are gloss black. Your windowsill on the preferred is going to be also like a silver or aluminum look, whereas on the ST you have that gloss black paint. And then the roof rails right up top are also finished in gloss black, so you still do get them on the preferred, but they're finished with a silver or aluminum look, whereas on the ST here you have that nice gloss black finish. And checking out what is different on the rear end of the new Enclave ST here, we'll go ahead and peek in the fuel door, and you guys will see that the 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder does not require premium. There's no signs on the door or anything, so it can run on just 87 for that new turbocharged engine. Now coming around to the rear end, you will see that gloss black paint running from the bumper, running from that fender flare into the rear bumper as well. So if you guys get a preferred, this whole bottom of the bumper here is just going to be like a flat black plastic. And then even though this one does not have the trailering equipment, the $650 trailering package, it still does have the cutout for it. So I think they did that to save a little money so they don't have to manufacture different types of bumpers, whether the vehicle has trailering or not. And then this little bar that runs, by the way, super cool taillights. Look at that indentation there, how it runs into this little bar that runs across the whole back here. Have that updated Buick symbol, and just look at this edge. Look at how cool that edge is. It just comes out like that and just sort of squares it off. Very cool looking rear end on this new Enclave. So super cool taillights that run from this corner all the way in, and that daytime running light runs across the whole rear. On the ST model, you're gonna see that this is a gloss black paint, this little bar in the middle of the taillights. If you get a preferred, this is gonna be like chrome or aluminum looking, but this is the rear of your Enclave ST. What a very handsome rear end on this new Enclave. It is just so squared off compared to the old generation that was more rounded. So just looks so good. I just love every angle of this new Enclave. Okay guys, talking about trunk space in the back of the 2025 Buick Enclave here. Behind the third row, it does have 22.9 cubic feet of space compared to the 2024 Enclave, which had 23.6 cubic feet of space. So it is about a half a cubic foot smaller back here, but once you are in person, you don't really notice it. It does look the same size. All right guys, hopping into the second and third row of this new Enclave, you'll see that the seats back here do have a very cool pattern on the leather, you'll see these kind of little dots that go back and forth. They have kind of a varying pattern all the way up, and they do even have the ST insignia on the second row chairs as well. Usually it's always, you know, manufacturers will do the first two chairs only. This is kind of cool to see it in the second row as well. I really do like that. You can use this little lever to slide this second row forward to access the third row if you don't want to walk through the center tunnel, but I always walk through the center tunnel anyway because I don't want to play around with these seats, so I just end up doing that. They do have little armrests here as well, which is kind of cool. So you do have those for the second row passengers, and you have this very regal, very cool looking pattern in the leather. I don't know if you guys can see that, and then some leather right there with some nice white piping on the outside. Very, very well done seats, but I do like all the attention to detail Buick has done. You have that ST insignia right there. You have this little door trim down here that also says ST, which on a family SUV like this, you don't see cool little touches like this too often, especially in the American market. Now, if I sit behind myself, I was just sitting in the front chair, and you'll see that I don't have too much space to spare, but I do have about an inch before my knees touch. There is some climate control back here for the kids, as well as some cell phone chargers and some extra cup holders for, you know, some slushies and stuff in the summertime. We are missing that $1,500 sunroof. Really, really wish we had that, but that is besides the point. We have those little Bose speakers there. So I do fit in the second row pretty well. Now I'm gonna slide this second row forward just a little bit and hop in the third row, and we'll take a seat. And you guys will see that with moving that second row pretty far forward, I am at least able to fit in the third row, being 6'2", so it is a bit of a tight squeeze back here, but I can at least get back here if I need to. Kids in the back do have their own cup holders as well as their own little cell phone chargers. Very, very beautiful interior in here. Love this second and third row. Finally stepping into the driver's seat of this new Enclave. By the way, passive entry is on all four door handles for anyone who is wondering. We'll open up the door here and you will see this really cool metal bar that leads into the door handle that looks like a McLaren symbol. That door handle is pretty cool looking. And then you have this kind of like aircraft aluminum looking pattern on this plastic piece right here. You have some padded leather here. You have that sort of regal, just really cool looking leather pattern on this piece of plastic down here. You have all your window switches, your mirror adjusters, and look at that, power folding. Yeah, look at that on the ST. That's kind of cool to have standard. Okay, pretty sweet feature for the car wash. Like I said, doesn't have that $1,700 power package, so no memory seats, but it does have Bose speakers, and I was testing the Bose speakers out with what is my go-to channel. It is 52 BPM. A lot of electronic music on this channel with the bass, and it sounds incredible. It's a 12 speaker Bose system in here. So you have a speaker up here. It is just such a very, very, very good radio system in here. I think it sounds better than the one that I tested in the Acadia Denali. I don't know why that would be. You would assume it would be like the same exact product, but the radio in here is super awesome. Didn't do too well at like those really high treble ranges, but the bass is awesome on this new Enclave with that Bose system. So you have a little door pocket there, got a button to open up your trunk if you're going to the Target pickup or anything like that. You have the same button panel that we saw on the Acadia as well as the Traverse. You can have your parking brake. You can switch your drive modes with this little button right here. Off-road, got snow and ice. Sport, turns everything red. Oh, okay, so the standard one is Tour. Okay, gotcha. You also do have the button to shut off your auto stop start. You have the button to engage your all-wheel drive on your own, and some other things over there as well. And what a beautiful new steering wheel this is. Look at how pretty and how crafted this whole new interior looks on this. I love it. Go ahead and shut our door here and you'll see me being 6'2", I do have the chair all the way back, and I do have a pretty good amount of room to stretch out if I go in between the brake pedal and the footrest. You kind of see I can get pretty straight there. If I do go back to the footrest, I do have a little bit of bend there. So it does go back pretty far. Out of all of these, the Traverse, the Acadia, and the Enclave, I found the most legroom was in the Acadia Denali. This one is still pretty good, but these seats are firmer than the ones that were in the Acadia Denali. So just do keep that in mind. If you do like a softer seat, I would go with the Acadia over the Enclave. But we're going to look at at this steering wheel. Got that leather wrapped steering wheel. You'll see right here we have the button for the heated steering wheel over here. You hit this button, the little music note, it'll switch what your source is on the radio. You hit the pages button down here, it'll switch the look of your dash up here. You have the Google Maps that you do have to pay $25 a month for. I have mentioned this in some of my other videos and viewers have not been happy about it. You do have to pay 25 bucks a month to keep that Google service active to have the Google Maps in the dashboard, but some viewers have also told me that if you plug your phone in, or should I say use the wireless Apple CarPlay or the wireless Android Auto, your maps should view up here as well. Some viewers have told me that. I don't know if it's true, but do keep that in mind that that is a possibility. If I hit this little button right here, this little switch, that'll switch through our favorites that we have set up. So that's kind of cool. If I hit this button, it'll pick up our phone call or hang up our phone call. Your horn in the middle. What a cool looking steering wheel. I just love, this is just such a, probably my favorite steering wheel of all out of the Traverse, the Acadia, and this new Enclave. I think this has got the best looking steering wheel in my opinion. Got that new Buick symbol in there. And then these cool little aluminum finishes on the buttons are so cool. So you do have this for the cruise control over here. On, off, you can resume or set. And then you can also adjust your forward collision alert with that button right there. You can adjust how big you want that gap to be. And then you have the button to put it into low mode if you are stuck in some snow. So there is that. And then you have your voice function as well if you want to engage Siri or Bixby on your phone. And you will see there's a little sunglass holder up there. So you have that. And then if we look down here, look at how cool this little tunnel is down here. It is a really good size. There's even a charger down there. It is, I would estimate, for the ladies, I'm imagining you can probably put your purse down there. Also, if your family's carrying around kind of like a nice portable small diaper bag, it might go down here. So that is really cool to see. Here are your cup holders. It is time to grab my Yeti and see, do these cup holders accommodate the 26-ounce Yeti? And I am gonna give it a pass. I think it does. I don't really think it would go anywhere in the corners. Nah, it's actually pretty stable. So these are really good sized cup holders in this new generation. Fits the 26-ounce Yeti just fine. You have this little dial here. This controls your volume. And what's cool about it is while you're driving and you're just kind of leaning back, you're sitting back here, it is really easy to reach for. Instead of reaching up to the screen and you know, kind of having to fiddle around with that, this is really easy to reach down here. Now, like Cadillac and the XT4, would have been cool if they had some buttons for us to skip radio stations right here as well. But I will at the very least take this volume button. That is super cool. Little tray to put stuff right here. Those nice big cup holders we talked about. Wireless charging is standard and it does work well. I did put my phone in here a couple times and it did engage pretty quickly. And then your chargers right here on this piano black trim down here, you see you have those. And these controls for the air are so cool in the middle here. They feel really good to the touch. Like I feel like I could hit them and not be afraid that they are like breaking or anything. So they do feel pretty sturdy. Really do like that. You can just shut the air off with that button there. And I'm talking about this curved display. Look at how big this is. Look at how big this curved display is. It is so crazy how far it ranges across the dashboard. We'll go ahead and peek behind it there for you guys to check it out. But what a cool display. Awesome looking radio display. If we go to the home button up in the top left, you'll see Apple CarPlay, Android Auto are grayed out until you hook them up. As for your camera, you do have the HD surround vision standard. So you'll see on the left side there's our ST, and when I start turning the wheel to the left, you'll see it peek out right there. There it is. Yep. So there is that. You can engage the camera when you are sitting still, just like that. You have the Play Store here. That is part of the Google services, like this Google Maps over here that you do have to pay for. So you do have to pay 25 bucks a month to keep that Play Store activated, to have that Google Play Store if you want to have that open, as well as the Google Assistant. You have the settings down here. We'll go in there real quick. You'll see that you're just, going to have all your general vehicle settings in there, your vehicle settings. Teen driver, if you're going to have them drive the vehicle to school real quick for soccer practice. You have all your controls right in there. Second one down is just going to turn it into a split screen look. I never really like this because it's kind of too much to look at the same time. Your music note is going to bring you right back to the radio. And then if I hit the Maps button, it'll launch the Google Maps. And then phone, that'll be your connection. So if you don't have it plugged in, in or anything like that. All your Bluetooth connections will still show up there, like your contacts, your recent calls. And then the control center down in the bottom left here, you'll see that all your controls right here for the auto high beams, if you want those to engage or not, that control is right there. Also the headlights, this has been another thing besides the Google Maps. Keep in mind, there's no more built-in navigation because the Google Maps is now taking that spot. So you do not have built-in navigation anymore. So Google Maps is the only choice at this point. But another thing people are complaining about is the headlights here. You have to turn them on with a button. There is no longer, you know, remember that little dial that used to be over here that you'd switch on and off or whatever? Now you have to turn your headlights on with a little digital button. And then your hazards, oddly enough, are up here. I actually had a really hard time finding these for some of my B-roll clips. So here is everything to be concerned about down here. That is for your, your lane keep assist, whether you want it on or off. This is how you engage your heated seats. And then there's all your climate displaying down there. So if I turn this temperature up for the dual zone climate, you'll see my side is starting to go up right there. But wow, I know I went on a long time about this interior, but how well done is this? Look at how pretty. There's that kind of aircraft aluminum, I'll call it, pattern. Again, right up there. This really regal, kind of like cool, I don't know what I would call this, like a hotel, like a really fancy hotel wallpaper pattern. It just looks like so fancy in this. I'm not a fan of the piano black up here. That's going to be kind of a nightmare to keep clean, but it does look good. It's just all the surfaces, all the effort that went into this interior. What a great job on Buick's part. I am so pleased with this new interior in here. All right, guys, taking the Enclave for a quick ride here. You will see the new controversial Mercedes style shifter over here. That is your park button. You're going to go ahead and push that in and it will illuminate that you are in park, not only on the gear shifter itself, but also up on the dashboard as well. We'll go ahead and put it into drive and do a quick maneuver, pull it towards yourself and push down to put it into drive. And we'll go ahead and put it in reverse. So go ahead and pull towards yourself, push up, and it's going to go into reverse for us. You'll see that surround vision pop up. Just slapped it back in drive, pushed down like that, and we're back in drive. And I will say, there's not like, you know, whereas a lot of GM vehicles in the past, there was like sort of a lot of waiting, you know, before it would officially pop into gear when you were shifting, like in vehicles like the Equinox and things. This one, for some reason, with them switching to this new digital gear shifter, it goes in and out of gear so quick. So if you're trying to do one of those quick K-turns on like a little side road or something, this does go in and out of gear pretty well. Do love that. So new 8-speed transmission is actually pretty awesome. All right, guys, now to test the 0 to 60 on the brand new Buick Enclave here. Here we go. Like I was saying, the 0 to 60 in this, it is sufficient, but it's not very exciting. So if you're taking off from a dead stop, the acceleration is sufficient, but it's not really going to be as exciting as the V6's was, because at least in the V6 you had the V6 to listen to. Here, you're just listening to a really raspy sounding 4-cylinder. It's not a really good sound. From the outside, it doesn't sound too bad, but in the cabin, it is just not a very good sound. So I will say that the pickup is better once you're at a roll. If you're kind of, you know, going around a corner at like 20 and you're kind of getting on it out of a corner, like something like that, the pickup is pretty decent. But if you are just getting on it from a dead stop, you will feel that the 4-cylinder feels pretty labored. As for road noise in here, I thought that the road noise was going to be a little bit worse than it is because of these 20-inch rims, but it is pretty quiet in here. The road noise is quiet. The wind noise from the windshield is quiet. It is a super quiet cabin in here. I mean, this is riding even better than the Midnight Edition Equinox I drove last week. That only had 19-inch wheels, but it had a little bit of a slimmer profile tire compared to this. This has a little bit thicker tire profile on it, so this is riding a little bit better. These 20-inch rims actually feel great. They soak up the bumps pretty good. All right, guys, that wraps it up for my review of the 2025 Buick Enclave Enclave ST. I wanted to thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry if this one turned out to be a little longer than I expected, but there was so much to cover on this new generation of Enclave that I wanted to make sure I covered it all for you guys so you can get a better idea what it looks like before you go to the dealer. I really ended up loving this personally, and this is all going to be really subjective. You're going to have to see all three vehicles in person, but out of the Traverse, the Acadia, and the Enclave, I personally would go with the Enclave, but it's going to depend on what styling you like best. So I wanted to give a quick shout out to my friends at Johnson Buick GMC. You can see their sign right over here. They were nice enough to let me use this Enclave to film for you guys today, so I will have all their info in the description down below if you guys want to check out their Enclave inventory. They do already have some units on the ground if you want to check them out. If you haven't already, like the video and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next new car review.